Hello, Scorpio. Thank you for tuning into your love read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Telema Tarot. I believe it's Telema. I believe the H is silent. Excuse me. It's by Renato Lechner. There's the spelling. Somebody recently told me that it's Telema. So I want to try to say it right. And the supportive oracle cards, the magical spell cards by Lucy Cavendish. Are we good? All right. First half is relationship. Second half is single. Oracle cards come out as needed. Okay, so I see it going in a good direction. I'm just like wondering what's going on because I'm getting your partner has ideas already. They want something to happen. And I don't feel like you're quite ready for that. Whatever they want, you're not quite ready for it. And I'm getting the Hanged Man. I suppose this is different for everybody, but I just feel like most of you don't even realize, or because I'm not feeling a lot of conversation going on here, to be fair. Because I'm getting like your partner's ready to move forward. They're excited. They want something to happen, but they know you're not ready. And I'm getting that they are just kind of accepting that at the moment. And that's why it feels like the Hanged Man. Because I don't feel like they're talking about it because they believe you're not ready for it. Not ready for it / don't want it. However that works. And I'm getting like there's 2 overlay cards there, but I'm getting this before we get into those. Their challenge card is the 4 of Cups. To realize that there is something more they want here. And that they need to ask or talk about it. They need to talk about it at the very least. Because I feel like this is a conversation that needs to come forward. Because when it comes with the Hanged Man, they're feeling like they're stuck and there's nothing they can do. I'm also noticing right on top of it the Aphrodite's love spell. They're feeling stuck. There's nothing they can do. Whatever they want, you're not in the same boat with that. But their love towards you is very strong. Very strong. And I feel like there's something here that's not going the way they want it to. They're feeling like they're barred from something they actually want, but they want you so strongly that they're trying to be okay with that. Because they know how they feel about you, they need you, they want you. So even though there's something they want that you don't, they're just kind of trying to push it to the side because what's most important to them is that you're in their life. Because I feel like this is one of those situations where they're feeling like, for example, some people want kids, and I feel like maybe your partner does or does not. Whatever it is to your view, they're the opposite, and they're feeling like they just have to accept it to be with you. Something like that. I don't feel like it has to be that, but you know what I mean? Something along those lines. Like there's something they want that you don't, or vice versa. And they're just accepting it because they feel like they have to have you in their life to be happy. Because they love you to that level. Alright. Now, I'm getting with the 4 of Cups, this is their challenge card. They need to talk with you. I feel like that's what the 4 of Cups is. Like they're not acknowledging that 4th cup. They want to talk, I don't know, I shouldn't say they want to talk. They need to talk about this unfulfilled wish, this unfulfilled need, this unfulfilled desire. Because there's a lot of fertility there. And I'm getting, for whatever reason, I feel like if they just talk about this, it'll solve itself. That's all it takes. One way or another, it'll solve itself. Because there's fertility here. Like, I'm getting like this is really gonna... I'm getting like this is gonna cause an issue at some point. They have to deal with it. They have to talk about it. it's one of those things where if it goes too far, they just don't do it. It could turn into resentment. Now, interestingly enough, when they have the Hanged Man on that side, I'm getting you have the Seven of Pentacles on your side. And while this is traditionally a waiting for the harvest, like it's not time to pick the fruit, let's wait for the fruit to be ripe type card, I'm getting this is more for you, like you might be considering it. You might be willing to talk it out and go through possibilities. Maybe. But the conversation needs to happen. I feel like you know what it is they want. I feel like you do. So they're telling me, like, your challenge card is the Three of Pentacles to actually work this out with your partner. And the reason it's in the challenge position is because it could stay dormant and untalked about unless you seem to open the door. Because I feel like, especially because it's your reading, I'm getting with the Hanged Man with your partner, whoever he, she, they might be, they're not going to open the door. I don't feel them opening the door. They should. It's not about what's right or wrong. In that sense, it's about what's going to make your relationship better is why I feel like we're bringing that forward now. I also feel like that's why you'll probably push it forward, because you want to make things better and you're realizing this is probably going to become an issue later down the road. If it's not handled now, it could be a real problem later. And I do feel like you're willing to consider it and talk it out. The Three of Pentacles is your challenge, though, because it's definitely, I feel like you need to start the conversation with them. Even if it's like, well, I know how you feel about this, you know how I feel about it, but, let's talk about it and see where you stand and see what makes each of us happy. Maybe there's something we can do here to change some things. Maybe there's something that's actually better for both of us here. Like, what can we do? Because I feel like this conversation happens through your own volition. And I'm getting like the conversation seems to go nowhere. I shouldn't laugh, but it's interesting because I'm getting they're saying it seems to go nowhere. Now, this next segment here is gonna feel weird, I'm sure, because you've got the Nine of Swords on your side. Like, I went through this whole stupid talk, and I think I just upset my partner. I don't think I did anything but upset my partner. Your partner, on the other hand, told exactly how they felt. And it's almost like they finally got off their chest how they feel and what they want. That was like, this is important, because I feel like that's what happened here. They did finally vent how they felt, where they stand, what they really want. And to them, it feels like a fruitless victory. Which is, I feel like this is how it seems. They feel like it's a fruitless victory, because that's what I get with the Five of Swords, in this case anyway. Like they got out what they needed to, but they're like, yeah, now my partner knows how I feel, but I don't really feel any better about it. This is on your side too. The Nine of Swords with the trust, they're like, you feel like you went through this and it just turned into it just didn't end well. The conversations just didn't seem to go as well as you'd like it to, but they're saying trust, that this is for the best for both of you. And I don't feel like this is going down a bad road, so we'll get a little farther down. Because I'm getting what happens here. Spiritually, this helps your partner think things out a little more. When this conversation happened, there was things came out on both sides that I feel like both of you didn't know about the other. And it's those things that are getting your partner to think about possibilities and what else the two of you could do together. And it might be a redirecting of energy on their side. It may be. Now, I'm seeing on your side, you have the Fool card. It seems like you want to be hopeful. Spiritually, I'm getting the Fool card. I'm feeling like you might be bending to them a little bit. It's not till after this conversation, though, that's for sure. The Fool card is making me think you're really considering it. And you're like, you know what, maybe I can go their way on this one. Maybe I can. Maybe. Because with the Fool card, I don't feel like you're invested in it, but I feel like you're open-minded to it. Okay. Now, I feel like this is still connecting to that same energy about like the fruitless wind, because I'm getting the Two of Swords on your side. I do feel like you're open-minded. This seems to be after the talk that might have become an argument of sorts. It might have, depending on how intensive each of you felt. But I'm getting the Two of Swords here because I feel like you're more open-minded to it. I feel like this is after the talk. You're open-minded to it. You're open to like the thought. You're kind of like, maybe I could go a little farther on this. Maybe I could do this. Maybe I could go a little bit more towards my partner's direction on this. But the Two of Swords is saying you're standing in a spot where you're feeling like, oh, if I open that door, like it's gonna be like an out of control cart going down a hill. It's just kind of like once it goes, I can't run up and catch it and stop it. It's gonna go. But the other side's like, if I don't let that cart go, like all that stuff will never get to the bottom of the hill. So it's kind of like a catch-22. Like if I let that cart go, it's like it could just create a mess the whole way down. But if I don't do it, that stuff's never going to get down there. And it feels like it can get down there safely. It's just the way you're viewing it. It's like if I let it go, it's going to be calamity and a mess. If I don't let it go, nothing's going to happen. And we're stuck in this moment. And your partner seems to be... They have the Moon card here. I feel like they're dreaming a little bit. In the sense of like, what possibly else could they do to make themselves happy in this relationship? I'm getting their love towards you is very strong. And the Moon is making me feel like they're looking through possibilities, or they're giving it a dreamy feel here. Like I feel like I'm getting like an emotional detachment here, to be honest with you. I'm getting kind of like just kind of living in a fantasy in a little bit too. Like I feel like your partner is in this spot where they're definitely going through these other possibilities, but I feel like they're fantasizing a little bit because I do feel like they're a little upset about it. They're just kind of distracting themselves about where that conversation went. I for some of you, it may seem like your partner's okay on the outside, but on the inside they're upset. Like I'm getting that with the Moon card, because it seems like they're distracting themselves. They're kind of being a little bit dreamy about it. They're not really trying to overthink it. I'm getting for the most of you, your partner seems like they're okay, but they're pretty upset about how that conversation went. Now, because this is that part where I was saying, this might seem like it's not the best, but what I'm seeing is what makes the situation better is you got the Two of Cups on your side, which is you're sharing the love, you're expressing that love to your partner. You're like, I feel like you're actually telling them that, maybe you're willing to go their way a little bit more. I feel like you're offering that olive branch, and you're trying to, like, I think we could try some things, or let's delve into the subject a little deeper. I feel like you're like opening the door, and you're like, you know what, maybe I'm more conducive with this than I thought. Something along those lines. And I'm getting your partner, what helps your partner is the Two of Pentacles. Just being able to go through the thoughts and having a possibility there. Like there's a possibility. I don't feel like you're just like giving a flat out green light. I feel like you're just kind of like, you know what, let's talk about it some more. Let's look at some more options. And let's see what else we got going here. What else we got going on here? Like, one thing I'm getting, for example, if it's the kids thing. One of you wants kids, the other doesn't. The one who does want kids wants, for example, 3 or 4 kids. But then the one who doesn't is kind of like, well, maybe we could have 1 kid. Which seems to be very drastic. like having a kid, that's a big thing, clearly. I wouldn't want to make that I wouldn't want to put that forth like it's a trivial thing. But I feel like whoever it is that doesn't want that, I feel like is willing to talk it out. And I'm getting like, for somebody, it's like, instead of having 3 to 4 kids, it's like just having 1. And the one who didn't really want kids is kind of like, you know what, that could work. I could see that being okay. You know, maybe that would work. Because I'm getting your partner has the Two of Pentacles. It's like it's making them a lot happier to have a possibility. Because I feel like it's talking it through, planning it out a little more. It's a pentacle. It doesn't happen in 2 seconds, but like there's a possibility here, and it's kind of like that's how this person is holding that up there. Like, this is my possibility. Like, they're feeling a lot better, because I feel like this is what connects the two of your cards together here. It's called Magical Powers, but it's very much like the Magician card, which is not down here. It's very much like the Magician card. Okay. I was like wondering if I had the Magician card, if I could just pull it up, but I can't. I would love to, but I can't. Okay. So from here, you're going to work it out. You can solve it. It's going to depend on the two of you, what's right and what's not right. I do feel like some of you are still going to be like, no, we're not going to do that. But you have a solid ground, and you're both... I feel like there's some type of working it out to where you're both, like, it's solved the situation. Some of you will, like, maybe have kids, if that's the thing. If that's the thing. I'm not... That's just a very generalized thing. But... like, you have to both be on the same page. You're working it out. This is not happening easily in the sense of like, oh, let's just do it. I feel like you're working it through. You're molding. You know, you're cultivating it. You're thinking it out. This, that. Why yes? Why no? Why do I feel this way? Why do you feel that way? Like, you're really going through it and feeling it through. But the biggest part here, I feel like, is your partner wants something that you're not really open to in the beginning. And it's not that you're going to change your mind, but it needs to be talked out. It needs to come forward. Your partner needs to go through the thought, and you both need to be on the same page and communicating about it, so that it's not like this dark, lurking, thing that's kind of going to create its own problem in the future. Okay, I think we're good with that. All right, so that is the relationship part for Scorpio. Let's do Scorpio single. Scorpio single. Messages for Scorpio single. Messages for Scorpio single. Messages for Scorpio single. Messages for single Scorpios. There we go. Let's do it that way. I just realized I was saying that backwards. Messages for single Scorpios. Okay. I like it, so I'll tell you in a minute, of course, but your last card is the Lover's card, so I'm just gonna let that cat right out of the bag. I was just like, the Lover's card in a Lover's reading, especially in that spot, that's cool. That's cool. Alright, now, I really wouldn't say there's any negative cards here, but I am seeing where you're standing as the Seven of Wands. And I'm getting like there's a little bit of like an apprehension here, but what side is it actually on? Because I'm almost getting like you want to move forward, but you're being blocked. Usually I see this the other way. Like, this is this person guarding that door, not letting people in. I don't know if there's a glare on there. There we go. Yeah, hopefully that helps. But I'm noticing, the way I'm viewing this is like she wants to get out of this door. Just don't get caught up in the gender, like I always say. But this person wants out. They want to get away from this door. They're looking to move on, move forward. They want to go down that path. And there's this opposition there. I feel like that's what you're standing. I feel like you're being confronted by this opposition. And I'm getting also right now at this part, too, is the Ace of Wands seems to be very active. Like, you're very motivated to move forward. You want to go forward, but you're feeling like you can't. I'm also getting here with the Three of Pentacles in the past. I feel like you've been developing a relationship here. Now, since this is for single Scorpio, developing like a friendship relationship or developing some type of professional relationship, there's some type of connection with this person you've been developing. And if it's a business one especially, I'm understanding why that might feel like you're barred, but you want to go forward. Like the path in front of you, you can't seem to get down because you're like, that may be crossing a line that this other person does not want crossed. That could be a big issue. But I'm noticing here at the bottom, you have the Two of Cups. You're feeling the love. You want to do this. You're ready to do this. All right, now, I feel like this is what's interesting. You're going from one card to the other. You're going from the Six of Swords into the Ten of Cups. I almost feel like you're trying to like remove your feelings from the situation in some sense. Like, I feel like the Six of Swords is like you're trying to accept that you don't think this is going to work. It seems like you're in that moment where you're trying to find some way, some version of like, this can't happen. This isn't going to happen, blah, 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 blah. So you're trying to come to peace with that. You're trying to find a way to handle that where you're just like, I'm just going to have to accept it and move on. Then this Ten of Cups pops in. I'm getting like, I'm almost feeling like you're pulling back. You're putting like a little bit of distance there in some sense. And then the other person realizes that, well, I don't feel like they realize you're doing that, but they're feeling that distance and they don't like it and they come towards you. And I feel like that's where it's kind of like, I feel like you're in this moment like, wait, do they feel the same way I feel? Like, wait a minute. Like, I feel like you're kind of in this moment like, wait, do they feel the same way I feel? Is this, should I take a chance here? I feel like you're actually, even for some of you who are like really feeling like this could be a no-no situation, like if this goes the wrong way, this could be very bad. You're trying to feel out a way to like open up that conversation, but still having enough safety in it to where if the other person does not agree with you, it's not a big deal and you can just move on it unscathed, moved away from it or moved forward from it unscathed. So you're being very you're trying to think it out, like how can I bring forward this conversation to see if like this other person I like is maybe more on point with me than I thought. Excuse me. Because I'm getting here the Knight of Cups with the good cheer. And I'm kind of feeling like this is that other person. Like I feel like you're pulling back and they're coming towards you. And they just want to be around you. They're having a lot of love feelings for you. And the good cheer is like, it's very lighthearted energy in the sense of like, I don't feel like there's any concern on the other person's side. They just seem to be taking it like they want to be around you and they're just going to do what's coming naturally to them. I do feel like they're holding back some emotions though. Because for them, they have this Queen of Cups as well. I feel like Knight of Cups is them. I feel this Queen of Cups is them. The Two of Cups is how the two of you come together. I do feel like you're feeling it. And the Queen of Cups is telling me that they're kind of holding it back. They might be holding it back for the same reason that you're holding back or trying to hold back. But I'm getting the way the two of you are acting with each other. It's starting to become clearer and clearer for each of you where the other stands. And I'm getting, as you pull back and they move forward, you're getting kind of more of a clue like where they're standing. But the way you're reacting as they come back towards you, they're feeling quite strong about it too. Because I'm getting the mermaid seduction. I'm getting that they might kind of make the move. That's how it feels here. Like they might be the one making the move towards you. Letting you know how they feel, what they want to happen here, how they feel about you. Because you got the Two of Wands here in the future. And I'm getting like the two of you are looking at these possibilities. And I'm just going to hold for what's in this card because I see this bird and I'm seeing like the fog seems to be parting here. I'm getting more communication is setting up more communication is setting up for possible action. I don't feel anybody's making a reckless move. I do see though that like they're like being a lot more forward. It seems like they're coming towards you, but the way it's happening, it's very respectful. And they're very, very conscious about how you feel, the situation itself. They're not looking to upset you. They want you to really be on the same page. They feel like you are. I'm getting they're being very seductive. Like it's got the mermaid magic seduction, whatever you want to call it. Like I'm getting like especially the seduction. Like they're being very, very like alluring. They're trying to get your attention. They're trying to get you alone, but they're not pushing across the line that would make you uncomfortable. They just want to spend more time with you. They want you to get to know them. They want to get to know you. Like it's very strong here with the Two of Wands. Like for whatever this card, like it looks weird to me for some reason, but and I'm getting like there's a little stress there, so I'm getting the fog is parting, and I'm getting there's a lot more communication going on at this point about feelings, not communication period, but more communication about feelings, about how each of you feel, and I'm getting this is setting up for action in the future. Because what you got going on here in the future is because I'm seeing the two of you spend time together, but it seems like it's appropriate in the sense of like, it seems like it's a social situation with the Three of Cups. Like, I'm getting you're together socially, somewhere where it seems fine, where there's other people, maybe other people you know in common, but I'm getting from that moment is where the lovers happens. That's where it feels like each of you professes to the other where you actually stand and how you each feel. And that's where this last card pops into creativity, because that's where the two of you start working out, well, I know how I feel, I know how you feel, we feel the same. What do we need to do to make this happen? Because I'm getting for some of you, there's actual restriction here you got to be careful of. So I feel like you're working through it, you're deciding how you're going to handle it. But the Lover's card is there. You're both telling each other how you feel, and that's when the creative card comes in. And you start deciding, now that you know how each of you feel, what are you going to do about it? Are we good? Okay. All right. I'm going to wrap that up there because I feel like we got through the whole thing. All right. I touched on every card. Like, is there something that's open here? It ended with the Lovers. I mean, what's so bad with that? There's nothing bad there. I don't know. It's funny because I'm like, did I hit a point? Did we get there? I think we did. I don't know what. Like, what am I trying to touch on though? It feels like there's just something there. Because I feel like this is a very careful situation, and it's got to take its time. It's not going to jump forward quickly. Even when the seductive part comes from the other side, I feel like it still needs to take its time. It's definitely gonna be a slow grow, in the sense of like it's not gonna happen in a day or two. May take a few weeks at least, but it's gonna be fine. They're telling me that it's all there. I should just let it go. So I'm gonna let it go. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, go ahead, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.